Christmas is almost here. It's the holiday season, and everyone's really excited. Can't wait all to open their presents with their selfish, grubby little hands. Everyone's all excited, but not me. I hate all of it. I hate Christmas. I hate the presents. I hate the joy. There is no joy right now, and that's because I had a losing week last week. Betting games here on the Board of Spread, presented by BetMGM in the National Football League. So damn it, I'm Ebenezer Scrooge this week. 2 games under 500 for the season, and I'm pissed off, and I'm not in the Christmas spirit right now. But the good news is, as always, this is the great thing about sports and the great thing about betting. There's always more games, always more of an opportunity to get back on the horse or the reindeer, whatever floats your boat, and get things rolling again in a positive direction. And that's what we are looking to do. Nick Kostos here, Board of Spreads, presented by the king of sportsbooks, BetMGM, giving you the 5 best bets for Week 16 in the National Football League. Damn, time flies when you're having fun, or when you're winning, or when you're losing, like I did last week. How about that Ravens-Jaguars total? How the hell does that game go under the total? Hashtag, that's betting, Susan. All right, so let's get to it now. But before we get to the bets, we must pay homage to the Board of Spreads. Hey, asshole Board of Spreads. Maybe you can be a little kinder to us this week. It's the holiday season. Maybe give out some Christmas gifts this week, some wins underneath the damn tree. Let's make it happen. Board of Spreads. And as always, we will start with the games that I have no interest in betting. And why don't we begin with this Browns-Texans game? By the way, just saying, Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland's head coach, betting market like 10-1 to win Coach of the Year. I feel like he's way live to win this award right now. You lose to Houston this week, and CJ Stroud's unlikely to play in the game. Kevin Stefanski probably not going to win Coach of the Year. But look, he's won games this year with 4 different starting quarterbacks. They're going to make the playoffs most likely with Joe Flacco. This dude was sitting on his couch like me 3 weeks ago, and I'm still sitting on the couch, and now he's slinging passes and winning games in the National Football League in the year of our Lord, 2023. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Kevin Stefanski, 10-1 right now, probably worth the look, but we need to wait to see. Is Stroud definitely going to be out? We think he is. The point spread tells us he is. What about Nico Collins? Is Nico Collins going to play? Does the Case Keenum revenge tour in the National Football League continue? Right now, the point spread just looks good to me. I don't know if I want to like 3 on the road with the Cleveland Browns in a game with a low total here. Maybe Cleveland wins by 1 or 2 and the voodoo continues. No bet for now with the Browns and the Houston Texans. But again, Stefanski 10-1, DeMeco Ryans 3-1. Who would you rather bet? I'd rather take a shot on Kevin Stefanski. All right, the next game that we have no interest in betting, or watching. Merry Christmas, Jets fans. Who's excited right now? All the Jets fans out there. Or maybe you're like a diehard Commanders fan, in which case, God bless you. Who's excited to go sit outside at the Death Star, MetLife Stadium, to watch the Jets and the Commanders on Christmas Eve, with Zach Wilson likely to be back under center for the Jets? Now, look, I do like the Jets a little bit in this game. Like, Washington's secondary is absolutely terrible, so even Zach Wilson should be able to throw the ball and make it happen against this Commanders secondary. But at 3, no interest. Now, if Washington gets bet and this goes down to Jets 2.5, then it's an easy bet on the Jets. Conversely, this goes up to 3.5. I think we have to take the points with Ron Rivera. We think Sam Howell will at least start the game. Maybe he doesn't finish it. Jacoby Brissett and the Washington Commanders. Here's the one thing I just hope. Can we have a Sunday without rain here in the Northeast? Hashtag Northeast New York, New Jersey problems. That's the Jets and the Commanders. The next game, we have no interest in betting, and this will be one of the Saturday games. And we'll go to, I bet the Chargers last Thursday night. +3. They lost by like 80? Was it 63-21? It's not 80, but it felt like it was 80. Now, I always say, if I'm going to lose money betting on a team, I want it to be so bad that everybody gets fired. Mission accomplished. Staley gone. Telesco gone. And now here comes Giff Smith. Giff Smith as the new coach and the general manager's first name is JoJo. So we have Giff and JoJo. And all my life, I prayed for someone like you. I have no idea how this is going to go for the Chargers here. What I can tell you is Buffalo, we had the Bills last week against the Cowboys. Buffalo was a 14-point favorite at open, and the Chargers got bet. Now, that's not because people think the Chargers are live in the game, going to win the game, but that's a huge number for Buffalo to be laying on the road. Now we're sitting in the correct zone here. Buffalo favored by more than 10, but less than 13. I think I'd only bet Buffalo, but you're showing up here to bet this game. I feel like the best of the number is gone on the Chargers. It's Buffalo or nothing. Probably nothing for yours truly on Saturday night. with the resurgent Buffalo Bills at Gift Smith, Easton Stick. God help us all. And the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that's it on the games I have no interest in betting. As always, we're going to have a massive card for this week. Absolutely love it. Let's start now with the games that we will be betting. And we'll go to the two-team teaser, Lock of Eternity, the Lock of Christmas. There's no such thing as a lock. But if there were a Christmas lock, by God, this would be it. Let's go to Tennessee, where as we tape this right now on Wednesday morning, we don't know if it'll be Will You love it at Levis or Ryan Tannehill as Tennessee starting quarterback. Here's what we do know. It won't be Malik Willis because he's absolutely terrible. So it looks like it's going to be Levis or Tannehill against Seattle with Drew Lock. He puts on for his city. God bless Drew Lock. What a win on Monday night for the Seahawks against the Eagles. So what we want to do here is tease Tennessee up. We don't need Tennessee to win the game. We need them to not get blown out. And if Tannehill's going to be the quarterback, Mike Vrabel's a great coach. I feel really good about that with Tennessee at home. Derrick Henry complained great. He'll be on a new team next year. Let's get Tyjae, hit him with the Spears, Tyjae Spears as the running back. And then we'll go to Saturday with the Bengals and the Steelers, where Jake Browning didn't play well against Pittsburgh in his first start. And since then, Jake Browning's been absolutely unbelievable. Should I look into the microphone and say, never should have cut me? Jake Browning did that. It was cool. Wouldn't be cool if I did it, but it was cool when he did it. But now, with no Jamar Chase likely for this game, now we think Jake Browning's just going to show up against Pittsburgh and tear up this defense the second time he's seen it, in the immortal words of Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Steelers up to +8. Tennessee +8.5. Your two-team lead teaser, lock of Christmas here on the board of spreads. All right, let's go to Thursday Night Football with the Rams and the Saints. I got to apologize, I think, to Derek Carr and Dennis Allen. They've won by margin the last 2 weeks. Hey, couldn't stop sacking Tommy DeVito. We'll get to that moron coming up in a little bit here. But this is the Rams and the Saints in Los Angeles. This is Thursday Night Football. Rams a 4-point favorite, total of 46. Is the point spread right? Yes. Does that mean you can't bet on it? You can do whatever you want. If I had to bet the game, I actually think I'd bet New Orleans, but I've reached the point in my life, expecting a child, age 40. Do I want to do this? Do I want to spend 3 hours of my life needing the New Orleans Saints to do something in order to win? I don't. Not in this game here, not on an island game, not in primetime. So what we'll do here, we'll play the over 46 points. We think Chris Olave is going to be back for the Saints. This Rams defense, nothing to write home about. And Matthew Stafford on a roll right now. Over 46 with the Saints and the Rams on Thursday night. All right, the next game that I like, but don't love. Okay, so I'm so mad at Atlanta, and just seeing Carolina makes me think about that game last week. But we'll just talk about the Packers and the Panthers here. All right, so I understand, people may see this and think, okay, Green Bay sucks, Love stinks. Yeah, I get it. Bryce Young, nice, in all seriousness, we bagged on him a lot. Everybody is. Really nice job on the game-winning drive for Carolina last week against Atlanta. And it was like a hurricane, really, seriously, nice job by Bryce Young. So I think people may see this, and I thought this at first as well. Too many points, let's take Carolina at home. Well, we need to have a point spread conversation here. Just bear with me. I'm going to try to make this easy for everybody to understand. A couple weeks ago, the Packers favored by 5.5 at the Giants on Monday Night Football. Giants win the game. Don't worry about that. Let's think about the point spread. Packers favored by 5.5. Are the Giants, both teams stink? Who's better, the Giants or the Panthers? Be honest. The answer is the Giants. I'm a Giants fan. I'm not being a homer. That's just the honest answer. And now Green Bay is going to be a point less on the road at Carolina. If Christian Watson's back here, I think this is an easy bet on the Packers. But you need Christian Watson to play, and I would bet Green Bay up to -5.5. I would stop betting Green Bay at 6. It's a little bit of if-then. But listen, that's what we're dealing with at this point in the season. In the National Football League, in the hotly anticipated 1996, 95 or 96? 96 NFC Championship game rematch that the world's been waiting for. Shout out to Dom Capers and Kerry Collins with the Packers and the Carolina Panthers. All right, next game that I like but don't love. This is another if-then game. Jacksonville and Tampa in the battle for Florida. I think Miami's Miami's the real capital of Florida, but whatever. It's two cool cities in Florida also. Tampa, a 1-point favorite against Jacksonville. Shout out to Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles. Both of these guys I think they're both awful, and I guess I'm the idiot because they're 7-7 are probably going to host a playoff game and get slammed by Dallas just like they did last year when Tom Brady was the quarterback. That's very likely here. So Tampa's a 1-point favorite. Why is Tampa favored by 1? Because Trevor Lawrence is in concussion protocol now, and he's like the knight from Monty Python. I'm dating myself with that reference. He's got a million injuries, the high ankle sprain. Now he's dealing with a concussion. Now, we taped this on Wednesday morning, moments ago, literally moments ago. I get a push notification, hashtag crossing the wire, notification on my phone. Trevor Lawrence, per Doug Peterson, progressing nicely in concussion protocol. If Trevor Lawrence is cleared and plays in this game, Jacksonville will close a 2.5-point favorite, and I will look to lay it with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like Jacksonville if Trevor Lawrence is going to play, and if Lawrence doesn't play and it's C.J. Beathard, this may close Tampa 3.5, and if it does, I also like the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Jaguars are nothing, and that's what we're going to see. If Lawrence plays, Jaguars probably 2.5. Lawrence doesn't play, Bucks 3 or 3.5. I like the Jaguars in either scenario coming up on Sunday on the road in Tampa. All right. Oh, man. Man. Oh. You know, Christmas Eve, what's a Christmas is for family? No. Christmas is for Bailey Zappi and Russell Wilson. This is the game on Christmas Eve. So everyone gather around the television while we open up presents and let's watch Bailey Zappi throw it into the feet of Demario Douglas for 4 quarters. Absolutely. That's how I want to spend. Here's Ezekiel Elliott up the gut, Javonte Williams for 2 yards, Sean Payton screaming at Russell Wilson the way your drunk uncle screams at your aunt on Christmas. That's what we're going to get coming up on Sunday night. But I do think we may have a good betting opportunity here. And God have mercy on our souls here. This number is a little crazy. Like, you need Denver to win this game by a lot. Bill Belichick's at the end here. I don't think the team's going to quit on him, but I've been wrong before. The only bet here is the Patriots plus 6.5. Again, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Patriots plus 6.5 or nothing on Christmas night at the Denver Broncos. All right, so we'll do the SGP plus, and then we've got the 5 best bets of the week. All right, Christmas Day. Oh, here's 2 fun division games for everyone on Christmas. A 12-point home favorite and a 10-point home favorite. The 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl last year. Now, on Christmas Eve, our guy, Tommy DeVito, like a good Italian, like me with my in-laws, gonna have the Feast of the 7 Fishes. You get the scungio. You get the galamad, which is calamari. I love how you guys do this, where you have the text underneath and you try and spell my interpretations of these words. I'm curious how galamad will be spelled. To get the scungio, you get the galamad. I talked to my father-in-law, shout out to Vito, he always watches this, and he told me there's the octopus, which is pulpo, and it's pronounced obo or something, like oboo or something like this. This is what Tommy did. So everyone's gonna be talking about the 7 fishes. What we need to be talking about, unfortunately, are the 7 sacks that he's probably going to take in this game against Philadelphia's defense. So it's not going to be Scungio. It's going to be Jalen Carter. It won't be Galamad. It'll be Hassan Reddick. That's what we're looking at here coming up on Monday. SGP plus. Jalen Hurts just called the team out for not being committed. Do you think they're going to show up and lay an egg against this football team that just got trashed by the Saints? So Eagles minus 12. Tommy DeVito under passing yards. And look, enjoy the Galamad, buddy, because it's going to be a rough one on Sunday in Philadelphia. And then Kansas City, much like Stella, got its groove back. I think Kansas City's going to roll in this game against the Raiders. The Raiders had their big game against the Chargers. Chiefs minus 10, and Travis Kelce over receiving yards. It may be a cruel summer, but it'll be a great Christmas for Travis Kelce. Over receiving yards and Chiefs laying the 10. You're winning SGP Plus for Christmas in the National Football League. And that takes us to the 5 best bets coming up for this week. And we will start with this 5, right? Yeah. We'll start with a total in this Falcons-Colts game. I've been telling everyone for a long time. Now, I'm wrong about a lot. I'm not one of these people that comes up as I'm always right. I'm making excuses when I'm wrong. I tried to tell everyone a long time ago, this bozo, this Neanderthal, the Cro-Magnon man with the stupid mustache and the condescending attitude, Arthur Smith, that this dude is the worst. They draft all these position players in the top 10, and then he doesn't use them. Does that strike you, the person watching this, as smart? Do you have to be a football coach to know this is really stupid? So this guy's on the way out. Thank God. I think he's going to be on the way out at the end of the year, but Desmond Ritter me this. Why is he playing? Well, he's not anymore. He got benched again. He's done as the starting quarterback in Atlanta. Here comes Taylor Heineke. I feel like there's a muffler car joke to be made there. Heineke starts for Atlanta against Indianapolis, and that gives us the opportunity. Hashtag Shane Steichen overs. Over 44 points. We got the Indianapolis Colts rolling on offense here, running a million plays, and an actual quarterback that'll wing the ball down the field. Over 44. Best bet number one with the Colts and the Falcons. Also, let's go Indy. We need it, unless you're a Falcons fan, we need Atlanta to lose. Get this guy out of here, and we can stop destroying our bets and our fantasy teams. We need to band together as a people, as a society. There is nothing more important coming up in the year of our Lord in this country in 2024 than making sure the Atlanta Falcons have a new head coach next season. Mark my words. Coming up next, we will go to the NFC North. We'll go to the NFC North with the Lions and the Vikings in Minnesota. Oh, man. Nick Mullins, great first name. Couple terrible picks last week against Cincinnati. And Detroit, I already did the groove back joke. We'll do it again. Detroit got its groove back on Saturday night against the Broncos. Detroit only a 3-point favorite here on the road at Minnesota. Again, I'll repeat another joke. Stone Cold Steve Austin, DTA, don't trust anybody. Austin 316 says Lions going to beat that ass. Detroit -3 against Minnesota, hell yeah. Like Brian Flores has done a great job as the DC. Also, they got shredded in the fourth quarter and overtime by Jake Browning. Now here comes Jared Goff. Is it a road game for Detroit? Yes, but is it outdoors? No. So Jared Goff's little hands, look, my hands are little also. I also don't play quarterback. Jared Goff can have a huge game. Lions at 3, has to be 3. Lions -3. Best bet, numero dos. All right, we'll go to Chicago where, wow, what a shock. Matt Eberflus and Justin Fields found a way to lose a close game last week that they should have won. Never seen that before, or we see it all the time. Great job by Darnell Mooney. Catch it, looked like Edward Scissorhands trying to catch the football, like blades for hands in the end zone at the end of the game. Chicago, a 4-point favorite against Arizona. Look, it's Fields and Eberflus favored by, you need them to win by a lot. And then you've got the backdoor wizard. Mine's out of the gutter, people. Kyler Murray on the other side. And I know they didn't cover last week against San Francisco. Also, the Niners might be one of the best teams we've ever seen. Arizona +4. Kyler Murray strolls through the back door on Christmas Eve in Chicago to cover the spread against the Chicago Bears. And then how great is this, by the way? In all seriousness, we got some stinkers this week. 2 great games coming up this weekend in the NFL. Best bet, numero cuatro. Last week, we bet against the Dallas Cowboys. We bet on the Buffalo Bills. This week, Mike McCarthy doesn't need the appendix. Dak Prescott, bounce back spot. Tony Pollard, do something here in the fantasy football semifinals, you jerk. Going on the road to play Miami. All the Dolphins do is fold like a cheap suit against really good teams. And I know the Cowboys got abused last week by Buffalo. This ain't Buffalo. It's Miami. Dallas goes into Miami and wins. This game should be a pick 'em. Let's take. I think it's good value on Dallas. Forget about the 1.5. Dallas goes into Miami and wins the game, and it will set up a win and in Week 18 for the AFC East with the Bills and the Dolphins. Who do you think's going to win that game? And then we will close on Christmas night. Maybe is this winner wins most valuable player? I don't think that's going to be the case here. But Brock Purdy looking like the MVP at this point. Whether you agree or not, doesn't matter. He's looking like he's going to get the votes right now at least. San Francisco, a 5.5-point home favorite against the Ravens in a potential Super Bowl preview. Total in the game, 46.5. I think it's going to be a miserable Christmas for Baltimore Ravens fans. I think the Niners are going to absolutely smash in this game. Baltimore loses Keaton Mitchell. That is a mess. He's like the only running back with juice. Otherwise, it's like they'll ride the Gus bus here in 2000. Gus bus has been broken down for 2 years, and justice demands retribution. How are the Ravens going to stay out of 3rd and long in this game? And on the flip side, what defense can defend this 49ers offense, which is on pace to be one of the best we've ever seen? The number's under 6 because of respect for Baltimore. I don't respect Baltimore. I do. They're awesome, and it's a great city. I've been there a million times. But we will lay the San Francisco 49ers, and we will close out Christmas on a good note by winning some money on the National Football League. And there you have it, the 5 best bets for Week 16 in the National Football League. In all seriousness, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, minimal sweats, and winning bets. I am Nick Kostos. Download the BetMGM app. Visit BetMGM.com and get those bets in for the holiday weekend.